Hello again, what's up YouTube world? It's your girl Dana Monet here again to recap season 15 of American Idol, the farewell season, and we're wrapping up the top 24 performances. So I'm going to discuss the second group of 12 that performed this week, as well as the solos and the duets. And I'm also going to discuss, the top 14 that we now have, and predictions for the top 10. And, of course, it wouldn't be me if I didn't talk about some things that I was angry about. So, without any further ado, I want to touch base kind of on everybody as quickly as possible. So, I'm kind of just going to talk about their solo and their duet together. So, Shelby Z, for her solo, she sang Gretchen Wilson, Work Hard, Play Harder. I think that, in my personal opinion, overall, she has the best vocal of the night as far as control of her voice and control of her pitch and knowing her voice. With that being said, I completely had agreed with Keith in terms of she could have took that up a notch. She could have took us somewhere. She could have upped the key and really gave it to us, because her range is really stellar. And I think that that's something that we should have seen. Her duet ended up kind of being a catastrophe a little bit. She did a duet with Constantine Maroulis from season 4, and they sang Bohemian Rhapsody by Queen, which is completely not a song that Shelby would sing normally. But I was disgusted with the judges that they dinged her on song choice when I don't feel that any of the contestants had any choice in what they sang as duets. So I thought that that was bullshit. And I really thought that she would make the top 14. And the way that they were critiquing her after she sang Bohemian Rhapsody, I was convinced that she was going home, because there can only be one country girl in the group, and I guess it has to be Tristan, right? Moving right along to Manny Torres. In his solo, he sang Coldplay, Adventure of a Lifetime. I kind of wasn't feeling his outfit that much, looked like a bellboy. But I did actually kind of like the song. I liked his vibe. And I think, again, agree with Keith, his spirit of the song, but I don't like so much all of the way that it was executed. He did need to connect more, and I think that that's a little bit of a problem with him. I just think that he needs to get back up on that acoustic guitar and really just sell us a vulnerable, emotional vocal. Going to his duet that he had with Jordin Sparks, I thought he actually did much better. I do think that he still, again, needed to connect more with Jordin. Like, you need to be looking into her eyes. Like, tell me how I'm supposed to breathe with no air. Like, how am I supposed to breathe with no air? I just felt like there needed to be more emotion there. But vocally, I thought he was absolutely solid, and he lost kind of that affectation in his voice that he's been having a lot that has been kind of annoying me. And he just sang a nice song, and I really like that. And I think that he just adds too much to his voice, and he doesn't need to do all of that. So I'm actually happy that he made the top 14. I was actually surprised. I was kind of convinced that he would be going home too. So this was like a happy surprise. So I was like, oh, okay, Manny's there. So good for him. Cory Wheeler, on his solo night, he sang James Bay, Let It Go. And first of all, I really love this song. And the first time I heard it was Jeffrey Austin singing it on The Voice. And that's what made me fall in love with the song. It's my favorite performance of his from season 9 of The Voice. And then I was introduced to the fact that Louisa Johnson from X Factor UK this past winter performed that song. And I saw her performance, and it was pretty epic. And then I saw James Bay on the Grammys performing that same song with Tori Kelly. So this Cory Wheeler guy had a lot to live up to, and he didn't do nothing. So hence my critique was all about other people who sang the song better, including the artist. It was a nice vocal. That's about it. He has crazy eyes. But I do think that he did a lot better on his duet with Haley Reinhart. Haley, Benny, and the Jets. Just had to bust that out. Like, I mean, Haley Reinhart. Love her to death. J-Lo still hates her, but acting like she loves her. Talking about, I thought you were going to win in your season, my first season judging. We know J-Lo did not think that you, Yeah. So I think that they did a much better job, and I liked the duet together. I liked that he was playing electric guitar, and it was like, we're going to hear electric music, solid walls of sound, whatever. And I thought it was cool. But the most exciting part of that performance was seeing Haley go, Benny! But that was the best part. So that's pretty much Cory Wheeler, and I barely talked about him, so we know why he didn't make it. All right, Amelia Eisenhower. She sang Avicii Wake Me Up for her solo. And I actually have to say that I have not been feeling Amelia the entire time. And something about the beginning of that song was like, it kind of started to wake me up about her. I was like, oh, okay, this is what they like about her. And then the beat dropped and it went into like the normal arrangement of the song, the dance mix or whatever. It wasn't even a dance mix. It got a little hoedowny to me. But it didn't work once she started moving. If she would have kept that arrangement slow and smooth and intimate, that really, really could have been a moment. And even though maybe the judges had predetermined, things about people who they were going to pick, I think that may have been able to change their mind about her, because I personally think that her duet with Kelly Pickler on Duets Night was one of the best duets. And I don't even really like country music, and I was smiling throughout that whole performance. I really, really loved it. I loved her playing the fiddle. I just thought that part was great. I mean, I know it's a singing competition, you know what I mean? But I love that part. I think it fit in really nicely. I think that their voices blended, the harmonies worked, and I think that she did a really good job. And I think that she deserved to make the top 14. I would say even based on her solo performance, because the solo performances were not that hot, but especially based on her duet, I think that she deserved to make it. So that's Injustice number 2 for the night. Shelby was number 1, Amelia was number 2. And I have another one. Next up was Jenn Blosil, and she sang Justin Bieber, Sorry. And Amelia sang Suds in the Bucket by Sarah Evans with Kelly Pickler, sorry. And Kelly Pickler was really cute. I like her. So Jenn. Also haven't been quite on the Jenn train, but I was a little bit more on the Jenn train than I was on the Amelia train. And that Justin Bieber cover was just a hot mess. She was out of tune almost the entire performance. It wasn't as catastrophic as Emily Brooks' out of tune last week, but it was like pretty daunting. And I know that she was trying to show emotion and feeling in her eyes and all of that. And you could feel the emotion. And there were times when, like it worked and stuff, but she needs to watch that. I kind of feel like if you play an instrument, that's all the more reason why it should be easier for you to sing in tune. So that's kind of how I felt about Jenn's solo. I honestly, I didn't like it. But actually, her duet with Constantine Maroulis was one of my favorite duets, I have to say. They sang My Funny Valentine. Now, I will say this, because I am an avid watcher of Reality Check that Melinda Doolittle and Michael Slezak do. And I've been watching it since season 11. So I was all about, Melinda Doolittle in season 6 when she sang My Funny Valentine. So I kind of feel like they should have brought her back to do My Funny Valentine, but what can I do? I actually really loved it. I think that her quirkiness worked actually, but in the beginning it was, I really enjoyed the intro with her singing the beginning of that song. When the groove dropped, I actually really liked the groove, but I don't feel like she was in the pocket like that, but I liked their harmonies. I really enjoyed everything about it. And I don't appreciate Harry Connick Jr. Yeah, I know he's like a dick when it comes to My Funny Valentine and standards. Like, I get that, and I get that there's a lot of people who like songs sung a certain way when there are standards, I know, but there's not like a hook to that song or anything like that. I just feel like, I don't think that they took the essence out of the song or anything, or the soul out of the song. I feel like it's necessary to not do a standard the same way every time. It's not like it's I Have Nothing where it's like boom, 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 and you have to sing it like that because that's the way that it is. My Funny Valentine is a jazzy song, and you can flow, and it can be fluid, and it's My Funny Valentine. And if you want to add a little groove on, like, is your figure less than Greek? Or something like that, I'm for it. I don't care. So that part kind of bothered me. But I like the duet nonetheless. Moving on to C.J. Johnson. And he sang Edwin McCain, I'll be happy when it's over. I'll be satisfied when I don't hear this song for the rest of my life. That's how I feel about his performance. Literally, when I saw he was singing that song, I completely checked out because I had my eye on CJ, and I kind of liked CJ from the showcase round, and he messed it up for me. And the judges were like, great song choice, you did it. No, not on that song. Sorry, no, honey. And then his duet with David Cook was just safe. It was just, And then he did have some pitch problems in the song, so he didn't redeem himself at all. So somebody that I thought was capable of making the top 10 after those two performances, I knew he wasn't going to be making it. So moving right along, Lejeune. This little boy, he sang another Ed Sheeran song. Like, he literally sings Ed Sheeran every single week. If he sings another Ed Sheeran song, I'm going to literally punch him in the face. He sang Runaway. I do have to say, I've never heard this Ed Sheeran song. I do like the song, but I wish that he'd stop singing Ed Sheeran. Like, I understand that you find your niche and you sing songs that work for you, but you don't have to sing songs all by the same artist. You don't do that, and nobody is critiquing him in that fashion, and that's just one of the things that he does wrong. Yes, he's cute. He has a nice voice. He has potential. All the potential in the world. I see that. But his voice is shaky. He has issues hitting some of the higher notes, and he struggles a little bit with pitch. Like, he is literally like the Black Daniel Seavey, except for he's maybe like a little bit better than him. But I'm seeing his weaknesses more than his strengths. And I just don't think that he has what it takes to win. And they think that he does. So he definitely took a spot from someone else more deserving, in my opinion. And then he did his duet with Daughtry. They sang Home, Chris Daughtry. They sang Home. And I just feel like he was out of his depth. Like, of course, you're going to be out of your depth anyway, singing with Chris Daughtry. But I could tell he was excited and he was happy and stuff. But again, he was having pitch issues. I can't really take the ride with Lejeune. I can't. Chris Daughtry, he tried. He did a good job mentoring, but some people are just not ready, and Lejeune is just not ready. I tried to revoke his ticket at the auditions. He's probably going to make the top 10. What can you do? Moving right along to Trent Harmon and his solo performance. He sang Chris Stapleton, What Are You Listening To? And first off, I'm happy that he's gotten over his mono. Second off, I actually really enjoyed this performance of his. This is one of the things that I've been wanting to hear him do, is to kind of do something intimate, draw us in, emotionally, instead of kind of just showing off vocally and trying to be here, there, and everywhere, and just sing a beautiful song. And he did. And I don't have a problem with the fact that it was a country song, even though he's kind of been gearing more towards soul, pop, R&B type of stuff, because he didn't sound like a country singer when he was singing the song. He didn't put on a fake twang, as Harry would say. So I was completely fine, actually, with him singing that song. And he does still need to work on his facial expressions and his vibrato, as Jordan Sparks stated when she duetted with him. He needs to pull it back. It's very necessary. It's really annoying, and he just needs to learn how to sing a song, just sing a line straight. He needs to learn how to do that, so that way the vibrato isn't as overpowering, because it's one thing to have a strong vibrato, but it's another thing for it to be I don't even know how he developed that, but that's a really bad habit. So kind of tumbling over into his duet with Jordan, which I think was pretty good. I do think that he could have let loose a little bit more on the performance, like vocally. And I'm not talking about crazy vibrato. I just mean like when Jordan, there was a part in the song where Jordan was like, Trent, let me sing it. Or she was like telling Trent to sing it or whatever. And I don't never know what he did afterwards, but I just wish that he would have been like, oh, I'm a singer or something. Like, I don't know. I just feel like that was like, look, I'm throwing you the ball, now catch it. And I don't feel like he caught it in the way that I would have wanted him to. But other than that, I think it was a pretty solid performance. And I'm happy that he made it through. Next was Tristan McIntosh, and she sang Carrie Underwood, Good Girl, for her solo performance. I got to tell you all something about Tristan, okay? I'm trying to root for this girl. Like, I really, really am. I actually have liked her since her audition. As much as the producers and the judges and everything is like throwing her down our throats, I still like her despite that, because I think that she has potential and I think that she has a good voice. However, after these two performances this week, I don't know if I can continue to root for her. She was completely out of her depth singing Good Girl. And that song has so much sass, so much attitude, and it's rangy. And I thought that she had the range to hit the notes, but apparently she didn't. Like, I needed her to go up there. I needed her to be like, it's no good, girl, no good for you. You better get to getting on your goodbye shoes or something. Like, I just needed her to go up there, and she was like, you know, and she was awkward on stage. Like, I don't think that she should have had the heels on. I think she should have had like some cowgirl boots on that were flat, or just some flat boots so that she can move around. She is still awkward on stage, but she's trying with the up-tempo songs, but she just needs to go back to the piano and just deliver something heartfelt. Like, up-tempo is not her forte. Like, obviously as an artist you need to learn that, but up-tempo is not her forte, and that's not the way to get people to vote. Right now the judges are making all of the decisions, but when America has time to vote, you're not making it past the top 10 if you keep on doing stuff like that. If she makes the top 10, which I feel like they're going to put her in there regardless. Now with her duet with Kelly Pickler, they sang Best Days of Your Life, and it was Kelly Pickler's song. I think I liked it a little bit better after a second listen, but she came in on like the lowest harmony possible. Like, why would she do that? That's not a way to start a song, first of all. And second of all, why would you come in on the lowest harmony? Like, if you're going to do that, like, at least sing in unison, or you needed to work better finding that higher harmony. Like, that was just not pleasing to the ear, and it didn't like compliment her voice at all. And, you know, I felt like she did okay, but she took a spot from somebody more deserving. Like, I have to say it. You know, I know she's the chosen one, TCO, but I just don't think that she has it. She's been too inconsistent the entire ride. She's been inconsistent. Honestly, my favorite performance of hers is still her audition. And when my favorite performance of yours is still your audition, then you're doing something wrong. Throughout the rest of the time, you're regressing. You're not progressing. And I don't think that she's progressing at all. So, I don't know. Next was Adam Lasher, and his solo, he sang Sam Sparrow, Black and Gold. And I have to say that I understand that there's a lot of producer manipulation and they know who they want and all of that type of stuff. But I wish that they would critique every contestant, even still with their same agenda, instead of just leaving all of their critique for one person. They didn't say not one positive thing about Adam's performance, except for Harry saying that, you know, you're after my own heart because you got black and gold, because those are Saints colors, New Orleans Saints, whatever, all the case may be. He criticized the shuffle thing. J-Lo was like, I couldn't get into it, or whatever the case may be, this and that. I actually really liked his performance, and I haven't liked Adam or even really remembered a lot of what he did this entire time. And I was kind of feeling the gold sneakers too, I have to say. But I actually kind of liked it. It was a groove. I liked his voice. It was like this husky tone, and it was, I liked it. It was like this husky rasp, and I feel like on his duet, he complimented Haley very nicely. And that was actually my official favorite duet of the night, Adam with Haley. And of course, both of the people that Haley Reinhart duetted with, they didn't make it. So obviously, and she's the only one. She's the only Idol alum that came back that neither of her duet partners made it through to the next round. So that says how Idol feels about Haley. But Haley doing her damn thing, and that heifer can sing. Okay, so I love the Can't Help Falling in Love. And yes, Haley was doing her thing, and she, had me throwing shoes and everything. But I feel like emotionally, they complimented each other. Vocally, I love it. Like in the middle, they held hands, and it was just so sweet. And like, I really enjoyed that duet. I think I have this thing about like love duets, like, and when you do it right, like I think that it works really, really well. And I think that was a really good duet. I think that Adam, in my opinion, did enough to make the top 14. I knew he wasn't going to make the top 14, but I knew that he absolutely did enough to make the top 14. Absolutely, without a doubt. Without a doubt. So I'm a little bit pissed off about that. Not as pissed as I am about Shelby. I'm most pissed about Shelby, but the fact that I feel like he did a good job on both performances and some people didn't do a good job on either of their performances, I think he should have made it. But moving right along to Dalton, and he's saying Billy Idol Rebel Yell. First off, Miss J-Lo, yes, he's pretty. Yes, he has pretty eyes, but she's just like, I can't with you. You're so pretty. And J-Lo, come on. The boy is barely legal. You're like pushing 50. You look gorgeous, but you're pushing 50. Like, stop it. Stop it. Stop it with the heartthrob thing. I just can't. Okay, so Dalton, his pros. He has a great look. He has a really nice personality. And he is an interesting performer. To me, I'm just not on the Dalton train. I think that I like him as a person. He seems cool, but I'm just not for the antics when you're not bringing the vocals to the table. Like, I would be fine with that if he was like Adam Lambert, because Adam Lambert can sing and Adam Lambert was like explosive and stuff. And I just feel like Dalton is kind of like putting on like, facade. Like, I don't have any problems with him making the top 10. I'd have a problem if he won. I would. But, I'm like neither here nor there with Dalton. Like, he could be eliminated tomorrow and I wouldn't care. And if he stayed, I'd be fine at this point. So, but his duet with Chris Daughtry, they sang Higher Ground by Stevie Wonder. And I really like this song. But I kind of felt like they should have did like Hemorrhage, like In My Hands, that in my heartbeat, in my hands again. I think that would have been a more interesting song choice, because I feel like Higher Ground, like, of course, everybody likes the Higher Ground, but the song was like, it was all about the band. Like, you couldn't even hardly hear Chris when he was singing. Like, I don't actually remember the vocals on that performance at all. And it was really sidetracked with the fact that, Chris Daughtry was getting a plaque for selling 8 million records afterwards, which kudos to Chris Daughtry. You don't have to win to sell records. Absolutely. But I don't remember any part of the vocal. I remember them kind of on the ground and them kind of running around and the band like, I just remember that, and that's about it. So, I mean, of course, everybody likes him. It's a lot of people in the blogs that like some Dalton. Yeah, whatever. Okay. No, sorry. He's not next American Idol material to me. Like, he's American Idol material, but to me, he's not. And I'd be really disappointed if he was the bookend to Kelly Clarkson. All I have to say about that. But I don't hate him. And I think that he deserved to make it. I'm just saying that he is not the best thing since sliced bread like people are trying to make it seem. And J-Lo was like, you the first one to make me feel. Like, J-Lo, I love J-Lo. I really do. I think she's an amazing entertainer. She's an amazing performer. I've actually seen a lot of her movies, and contrary to what a lot of other people may think, I actually like the acting that she does in a lot of her movies. I liked a lot of her earlier hits and stuff, like everything like prior, like 2005 and before, when she like Get Right and before, like love all of that stuff. But her as an American Idol judge, when she's got the manipulation part in her mind from the producers, I can't stand her. When she's actually honest and gives critique when you know that she's being honest, I love her. But, enough about J-Lo. They talk about her enough anyway. Let's move on to Olivia Rocks. And I have to say, Olivia did rock. She sang Demi Lovato's Confident as her solo piece. And first of all, I love this song. What's wrong with being confident? Oh, so really feeling it. But I feel like the performance wasn't perfect. I actually really enjoyed when she was just at the guitar, the acoustic guitar. I was like, ooh, she's doing an acoustic arrangement of this. But then she got up and she started to try to rock out. And it didn't work that well because she was smiling throughout it and she was kind of stiff. But that girl has so much potential, like in her voice. She has a really, really unique tone, which I feel like she needs to be careful about what types of songs she sings. I don't know if Confident is the best song to show off that tone, because it's really heavy and it's like difficult for her to stay in the pocket, but it's a very beautiful tone, very unique tone. And when used appropriately, it could really, really work. But she has a serious range, and she did like this crazy run at the end because I was kind of like iffy about it. And then she did this run and I was like, okay, I'm sold. She did it. She did it. You know what I mean? And I definitely think that she's one to watch out for. If anything, she should be the chosen one as opposed to like Tristan or Lijon. Because to me, although she's not perfect, she has all the foundation to be an American Idol. She's young, she's energetic, she's cute, she has a voice, she can play the piano, and she can play the guitar, and she writes her own songs. Like, hello? Next American Idol. Now, I'm not saying that she's my number one choice for Next American Idol, but if she won out of the kids that they're trying to present and the chosen ones that they're trying to present, I would not be mad if she won. Absolutely not. I think that she did a great job. And in her duet with David Cook, I don't think that was necessarily the best song for them to sing. I think that they maybe should have went with the song that he sang from his season Hello, Lionel Richie. I think that would have been a really interesting moment, especially if maybe she was on the piano and he was on the guitar. I think that would have been kind of genius. But they sang Light On, which was a David Cook song, and they had some really nice harmonies in there. But to me, it was not a lot to talk about. She did a nice little high note at the end, and it was just nice. I think her solo performance was definitely a lot better than the duet. So just to kind of round it out as far as who made it, Olivia, Trent, Shelby Z. Oh, that was who should. Let me not look at that because Shelby didn't make it. Okay, so the top 7 moving on was Trent, Tristan, Lijon, Dalton, Olivia Rocks, Manny, and Jenn Blosil. Eliminated was Shelby Z, sad face, Cory Wheeler, Adam Lasher, sad face, CJ Johnson, and Amelia Eisenhower, sad face. Now, I did like the second round of duets better than the first round, but I like the idea of the duets. A lot of people are talking about how it's too soon in the season for them to be doing duets because the contestants haven't had enough time to grow. But given the fact that the finale is only going to be on April 7th and it's only 5 more weeks left, I mean, how much more were they going to grow in 5 more weeks? Like, this just gives an opportunity for us to see more Idol alum. And since for the last couple of years, they haven't been inviting the Idol alum to come perform on result shows, and in last season, there wasn't even a result show, this gives them an opportunity to still continue to showcase their talent and to still perform. So I'm here for it. As many Idol alum as you can get in there, the better, especially if they're mentoring these contestants and helping them through the process, because I think that they're doing an amazing, amazing, amazing job. I think they're doing a really great job with the mentoring process. I did just want to briefly touch on what I my thoughts on who I feel like should be in this top 10, because what's going to happen is that the top 14 are going to sing. I hope they don't try to fit 14 performances in 1 hour. They need to make that 2 hours, but top 14 are going to sing. And then the judges slash producers slash whatever are going to pick 8 people that are going to make it to the top 10. And then we as America vote 2 people in, which sounds absolutely ridiculous that we're only able to vote for the 2 wild cards, but that's what they're doing. That's what it is. So whatever. So if I ruled the world and I ruled Idol, my top 10 would be Olivia, Avalon, LaPortia, Trent, Mackenzie, Sonika, Dalton, Manny, Jenn Blosil, and Tristan. But what I will say about Tristan, if she doesn't bring it vocally, I'd put Gianna in there. I really would. I'd put Gianna in there. And for Manny, I would like Manny to be there, but I feel like they're going to put Lejean or Thomas Stringfellow or Hiccup Stringfellow in there. So I really feel like Manny needs to kill it in order to make it there. But I feel like Olivia, Avalon, LaPortia, Trent, Mackenzie, Sonika, Dalton, Jen, and Tristan, I feel like they're pretty much locks. Manny, that last slot, is like, and I'm not even, if Tristan doesn't bring it, I'm not even quite sure she's a lock, because they gave her critique, but they still put her through. Like, if they don't see what they're looking for, I don't think they're going to put her through. So we're going to see what happens next week. This review went over 30 minutes, but I really wanted to touch on everybody and just discuss everything as a whole. So it's coming down to the wire. Idol's almost done for good. So I will see you guys next week. And just as a little tidbit, tomorrow I am going to be auditioning for The Voice in Philly. So wish me luck. Yay. Bye.